And most importantly, the next step is to assess your resources. Who is going to do this? You can appreciate that when you create a website, oh God, that's so easy, isn't it? You just put up a website and there it is forever and ever, amen. Thank you so very much. I don't have to do anything, right? Social media, yeah, no, it's not like that. No, it's not. You should be updating it regularly. But especially with social media, you have to be on top of this. And if you choose not to be on top of it, you have to have somebody who is on top of it. And in the beginning, where you used to be able to put up a website, and any 13-year-old could actually put up a website and make it look like something, you really don't want to, if you're not addressing that particular market, you really don't want to have an 18-year-old actually in charge of your social media marketing just because they have a Facebook page or they know how to tweet. It's a little bit more, it's a little bit more professional than that. And at the same time, you want to make sure that you keep a voice. So it's not just throwing something at it just because people have familiarity with the technology. They have to have a familiarity with how it's being used and how you want it to be used. So be aware of the resources that you're going to use, who's going to do it, how much time they have, and if you're doing it, you need to be at least putting aside maybe 10 minutes a day, minimum 10 minutes a day, or at least an hour or two a week to do this, and the amount of money you want to spend. Most of social media is free, although there are some elements that do cost, and you have to decide what your budget is. Next, decide how you want to participate. Remember we spoke earlier about the types of different participators, the joiners, the critics, the creators. You don't have to do all of it. If you decide you don't have the time to be a creator, at the very least you can be a critic and go on other people's websites and of people in a particular area that you're in, and go on to their blogs and create comments on their site with your URL in it. And make sure when you're saying stuff on their site that you're adding value to what's there. You're saying something, and you're not going on there just to say, oh, come to see my website or my blog. You're actually reading the comment and you're adding value to what is being said, so that you begin to develop traffic and trackbacks to your own website because you're posting throughout. So that's one way you can actually participate. There's a whole number of ways in which you can, but we're just going to very quickly go through the rest of the elements of the marketing plan here. Most importantly, determine how you're going to measure the results. There are a number of metrics you can use to measure results. The most important thing is to pick one and to track it over time. Number of unique visitors, bounce rate, and I know I'm just throwing terms out here, but whatever it is you choose to use, make sure you use it and are consistent with it. The next thing you're going to do is to evaluate and select platforms. Are you going to participate in YouTube? Are you going to have your own blog? Are you going to set up a white label social network? You can have a look and make sure that you determine and set those up. And next step, evaluate and select evaluation tools. How many of you are using Google Analytics? Great. We got a couple of users here. It is free. You can track the performance of your website by setting up a free Google Analytics account. You can go to Google, and it's one of the choices there, Analytics. Just select on that, and you can set yourself up. It'll take some time to do. What I mean by taking some time is you have to understand how to use it. So, but it's worth it if you want to do that for yourself. Next thing, Brainstorm Tactics. Different types of things that you will use on your social media, in your social media plan, such as maybe a contest, or maybe blogs, or maybe blog entries, or maybe you're going to create some sort of reviews and ratings. The next thing is you set up the specific campaigns, and your whole social media plan might even be just one campaign done correctly. You might just choose to implement a blog. You do one thing and do it well. But create that campaign, set up your Google Analytics or whatever evaluation tool you want to use to track the results of your campaign. Set up your calendar When are you going to do your blog posts? Or when are you going to implement that contest? And then just do it. Be brave. Jump in with both feet. Start your campaign. Don't forget to manage and analyze your results, because you want to make sure that what you're doing, you're getting some benefit from it. So you're constantly tracking and measuring to make sure that the effort that you're putting in terms of people, time, and money, is paying off. And finally, CANI, which stands for Constant and Never-Ending Improvement. You look at your results, and the next step is to make sure what worked, what didn't, and how can I improve. And you start everything all over again. This is the essence of a social media marketing plan. All of the elements that I've just given you, if you can follow these step by step, you should end up at the end of this with a social media plan that you can then use and implement for your business. This is a particular, now I'm going to give you a very quick case study. It's not really a case study because I don't have the results back on this yet. But this is a company that I'm working with right now called Glimmers Inc. Glimmers have some really cool products. They have these flashy light up stars, and they do something like this, which are flashy light up hearts, stuff like that. And then we have, I'm going to turn this off, this will drive me nuts. Okay. And then we have these lovely clip-ons that would go like this. It's hard to see right now, but they're clip-on stars. And Jill came to me. I've been working with Jill for a number of years, and Jill actually came to me and wanted to have some ideas on how she could improve her sales. We came up with a campaign called Light Up the World. It's based on it has a philanthropic angle, and I'll very quickly read you what the campaign is about. The concept is, let's bring a bit of brightness into the world. Contest participants create a philanthropic event or project based on the contest theme and Glimmers jewelry. For example, we're going to have a contest on her blog, and it's going to be called Light Up the World. And what contestants are going to be asked to do is they're going to be asked to hold a charitable event using Glimmers jewelry. Something like this. For example, a Rotary Club might hold a special candlelight dinner for families in need. Everybody gets a flashing star to remind him or her of the contest theme and how each of us is meant to share our brightness in the world. Or a Girl Scout troop can have a pay it forward program like the movie, doing a good deed and handing out a heart to a recipient with the instructions to pay it forward. They will video their event and post it on the blog site. Then the contestants will then be judged, and then the winner will then get a prize, which will be a contribution to a charity of their choice. So that's the idea to generate. We are using this to generate content and traffic. We want to get increased sales and increased traffic. The added benefit is that we have a feel good because you're doing something philanthropic, yet we're selling these at a discount price for anyone who's actually holding an event. So she ends up moving product. She actually gets some very good PR because we're going to also use this in combination with the press releases in the local radio and with television, not television, actually radio and newspapers. And finally, everybody wins, the nonprofit, the Glimmers, and the customer itself. So